We got jump pads. We're flying. Too far. We got teleporters. We're teleporting right on top of it. And we got angled lift pads. What more is there in this game? Am I right? What's up, everybody? It's Heartthrob GG doing a tutorial video today about mapping, how to make maps, how to get those blocks where you want them to be, how to do jump pads, teleporters, textures, all things mapping today. If you like this video, you like the content, you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. That would help me out a lot, and I'll continue making videos. Also, hit me up on twitch.tv/heartthrobgg. Hit me up with a follow there to get the content live. Let's get into it. I'm gonna be going over the basics of the mapping today. So step one, you want to create a map. You get into your console here. You get the console. You got to press the little tilde button. If you don't know what a tilde is, you're gonna have to look up what a tilde is. That's the button right beside the one. /edit will take you to a blank canvas. You got the whole world here, okay? Once you're here, you press F4, and that's gonna open up this bad boy. This is your editor tool. I don't like being stuck to the ground, so if you press H, now I can fly. The buttons, once you have the map editor tool, they're different settings. So you have to go to your settings and make sure that you look at where all of your buttons are set. When you go to controls and editing, these are now your new buttons. So strangely enough, jump is mouse right. It's not space no more, it's mouse right. You can change it to space. I have gotten used to it on mouse right, so I'm gonna leave it. If I was you, I would change it to space because that makes a lot more sense. So F4, bring up the editing tool. H, now you can fly. The most basic thing you want to do is start manipulating these blocks. So if you click a block, it highlights that block. If you scroll your mouse wheel, it's now going to grow or decrease that block. You can build it up nice and high. Now, if you click and hold, you're going to select multiple blocks, and then you can pull those all up at the same time. That's pretty handy. If you click the side of a block, and now you're going to be expanding to the side horizontally. If you double click a surface, you will select that entire surface. That makes it easy to say expand something that you've created. Oh, look at that. I swiped out the bottom of this one. We got some freestanders here. That's not physically correct, but that's okay. After you figure out how to manipulate the blocks, double click, highlight a whole side, expand that out. You can start building the structure of your dreams. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good map. It's got lots of different levels to it. Look at that. If you want to test it out, you press H. That's going to take away your no clip mode. You're no longer flying. And then press F4 and you're going to be back to as you would be in a game. And now you can test and go, wait a minute, that's too high. And then you can make adjustments, things like that. If you click the side, you can expand it out. You can expand this out, and now you got yourself a nice big playing field. You can pretty much do anything you want with these blocks. It's pretty handy dandy. You can raise the whole thing up if you want. And now you got yourself one big solid block, all right? Maybe you want to build a tunnel level. Why not just build a big tunnel level? Just a whole bunch of tunnels. We're tunneling. Oh my gosh, these tunnels are getting too small. I'm trapped. You can actually manipulate all this ground because when you work with these blocks, you get a very blocky style level. You can input ramps and things like that, but you're also able to manipulate the ground. It's a bit more complicated. You got to learn what the buttons do, but over on your numpad, first of all, you can select what tool you want to use. If you press plus, you get the purple. This is going to build the ground up. I can increase and decrease the size with multiplication and the division symbols on your numpad. So if I want to increase a lot, you can hit that, and now you get a huge. So you can actually use this a lot. They use this in the Frontier map a lot. You can tell that the ground is very natural, and then they've built on top of it. You could maybe start with a base of this and then build blocks around it. What I mean by that is, say if I built this way up, right? Now it's actually connecting to the block, and it's part of the level. If you press the, enter or return, now you're going to be deleting. Once you got, I got all these hills now. This is a little bit crazy. If you want to smooth it out, you press the period or the delete button and you get yellow. Yellow is, its job is to smooth out all the junk that you've created. So now it's just bringing that down, bringing this up, smooths it out. bit more level of a playing field. But you may want to start with something like this, nice and hilly, and then start building with your blocks around it. Press the minus button, and now you're back to no tool. You can back to manipulating blocks. If you press F1, it brings up this console right here. I press the add button. In here, you can type and you can find something you want. A lot of it is made themes, but say you say ramp, now you're going to get a bunch of ramps. The key stuff to know about when you're searching stuff, you see props, you see dynamic props. Dynamic props. Actually, let's start with a normal prop. If I pick up a normal prop, say this thing right here. Look at that bad boy. We're going to use that somewhere. You can manipulate this all around. You go to properties. Say you want to rotate it. You can rotate it 90 degrees. If you want to increase the size, again, I open up the properties. If I say I increase the size, we go twice as wide. Let's go 5 times as wide. You can see it just stretches it and it distorts it. Now it doesn't look that great. I can go 5 by 5 by 5, and now I've just got a very enlarged piece, which is all right. This is going to seem a bit, these bricks don't really seem that realistic now that it's that big. You can also hold shift and use the arrow keys, and it will distort. It'll start growing it. You say, left, up, left, up, left, up. Down, left. I like using this because it's a bit more, I just got a bit more control. I can see what I'm doing and I can get the numbers to all line up so I get a proportionate item. But there's more about props. So that's just a normal prop. Then you'll see there's dynamic props here. The thing with a dynamic prop is as you increase it, I'm going to use a roof for an example. When you expand it, it no longer starts to stretch, but it starts to multiply. So you see it didn't stretch it, but now I've just got a 5 by wide roof. Make this 20. Well, now it's 20 by wide, but it's not stretched, which is nice. So the dynamic ones, they don't stretch. They just kind of multiply out. It's not always perfect. Like I think if you go up with this one, then it duplicates. That's not exactly what we want. We don't, unless you want that many layers of roof. With ramps, when you say X is 3 right now, that's actually going to be 3 of these blocks. So it's easy to line up that way. If you say you make a corridor and it's 5 block, you want a ramp to fill this area. Oh, another thing, if it's highlighted, say it goes underneath or anywhere, you use the arrow keys and now you can shift it around. I'm going to get to that after. I know you like that. We're going to come or circle around to that. Let's go back to, we want it to be 5 wide, change it to 5 wide, and now it's going to fill the entire gap that you've created. Another very handy thing, you can then say I had this and I did a fair amount of alterations. I rotated it, put it over here, and I need another one because that's not quite high enough. You can just select it and classic copy paste. And now I've got a second one. It keeps all the properties, so it's still just as wide. It's rotated the same direction, and now I got 2 in a row. You're wondering, why did I do a second one? Why did I not stretch it vertically? As you stretch vertically, it doesn't seem to work right now. You see that? It's not any taller. What if I give this one? We did it! That's all you got to do. Why make 2? Don't copy paste ever again. Do what I did. You're struggling with things? Just start increasing all the sizes. See, so I needed the, if this is not expanded, then it's been increased in the vertical direction right now. It's been increased in this horizontal direction, but has not been increased in this direction. So it's being cut off. You can tell it just kind of dead ends right here. It doesn't look natural. This is a natural end, not a natural end, because it's only set to 1. So I had to increase that. And now it's wide enough that it comes to a natural end here. That makes sense. Now you got yourself a real big ramp. Amazing. Amazing. More ramps, the better. Am I right? More boost pads. Speaking of boost pads. Wait, what was I talking about? I was talking about something real exciting. Oh, right. Shifting things. And, it's not going to be exact. Right now, if I shift left, I'm going 1 block at a time. So this is exactly lined up right now because I'm shifting by full block. To alter that, to go block by block, you press F8, and now I'm going block by block. If I press F7, now I'm going to go a quarter of a block. So I'm making these adjustments by using the arrow keys, quarter of a block for each tap with F7. F8 is a full block. It's very nice for lining things up. F6, I believe, is it an 8? 16? Maybe it's 1/20th. Either way, you're getting very minor adjustments. You can Google exactly what that is. Oh, I was going to talk about jump pads. Let's go. We got ourselves a hill to climb. Jump pads are very exciting. Once you get the jump pads going, now you can start creating some amazing levels. Bring up your search bar, go to add. You're gonna search jump. You get a few things here. You see entity. That's different. We've seen props, dynamic props. We got entities now. Ooh. An entity is invisible, but this is technically what will be our jump pad. We're gonna add a visual later, but right now, this is the jump pad. If I do right now, nothing happens. It's not springing me nowhere. Sad. You gotta recognize this name, jump pad. Very important, jump pad. You're gonna go into add and you're gonna search JPDIR. JPDIR. It's jump pad direction. And now we're gonna bring that in. What we need to do now is we need to connect the two of them. And you gotta do that. You gotta open up your silky smooth console. Look at that, I lost it. It's still there though, okay? It's just a tiny little block right now. You gotta remember where you put these things. But it's a little bit easier. So you open up your console. You're gonna type /set. And we're trying to set something right now. We wanna set the jump pad to go in the direction of the jump direction. Think about that. That's it. Wrap your mind around that. Set the jump pad. That's its name, jump pad. We want the target to be the JPDRI. Why can't I say that? DIR. I said DRI. DIR. Jump pad direction. Jump pad target direction. And now they're connected. So if I walk on this, oh, it's boosting me. Look at that. Boom, baby. Not very high. So you're gonna have to adjust this. This is your direction. So it's sending me away. We don't want that. We want to go up. We're gonna go right up here. I notice if I put it right up there, it's not gonna get me that exact height. It's actually gonna undershoot in this case. You gotta adjust that until it gets sending you in the exact rate. Once you get high, very high, it's actually gonna send me higher than that. So adjust that until you get the exact height that you want. Search up jump. You can actually make anything you want be your jump pad. This is just the default jump pads right here, but you can select that. You can go and place that right where you want it to be. I'm going block by block so they line up real nice. Now when I jump on this, whee! I got a jump pad, guys. We did it. We're jumping. We're flying now. So remember, set your target. That's what it's all about. I can set this target anywhere I want. I can set it way over here. And now when I jump on this, oops, I'm in no clip mode. When I jump on this, sends me way over here. We're flying. Another fun thing you can do with jump pads, I would love to see this involved in a level. You can rotate them any which way that you want. So if we rotate it sideways, do the same with this. You need to adjust the size. The size right now is a square. It's a shallow square. So we want it to be a tall square. So we're gonna make it tall. That's your Y. Now it's a tall square. We're gonna make it shallow in that direction. I go and place this on the wall right here. I would have to jump into it. Oh, I didn't have to jump, but there you go. It hit me. So that's boost pads, jump pads. Teleporters are very similar way to input a teleporter. You could search telly, just a quick little telly. You're getting all your teleporter stuff. These are a couple teleporter dynamic props, but you want the entity. This is gonna be your teleporter. So when you step into this, you will teleport. The whole cube activates the teleport. We can make it wider if we want it to be wider. Now it's a big block, and that's the whole thing will be a teleporter. We're gonna add, same idea, we got a teleporter. This doesn't do anything on its own, but we need to add in the teleporter exit. So we had the jump direction. With this one, we're going teleport exit, TP exit. It's a little tricky because you can't search teleporter for the exit. You gotta search TP exit. Now we gotta exit. This is just a floating block right now. Tiny little thing. You click away from it, you almost can't even see it. You gotta click back on that bad boy. I want our exit to be up here. So we want to teleport, we want to exit up there. We gotta go back into our console. Same idea, set jump pad target. We're not setting the jump pad anymore, we're setting the teleport. Set teleport target, TP exit. There we go. Now it connects a line like that, lets me know that's where it's gonna teleport me. If I walk into it, look at that, I'm up here now. Big thing to know, very important, I just realized. So you can see on this square, there's a tiny arrow, tiny line here. That's your arrow, that's where I'm gonna be looking when I come out of it. So intuitively, I should look straight, but it puts me looking this direction. See, now I'm face that. To rotate it, you just gotta rotate it. Click it, bring up your properties, You can rotate the Y. We want forward. That direction is forward to us. So you walk into it, boom, now I'm searching that direction. If you are just in the game right now, I have no indication. That's not good. So final step is going to be, you got to add something that's going to make it look like a teleporter. So say I add one of these bad boys, encompass that square. Am I right? So now I know where that's happening. Something else that everybody does, you can put any prop you want to signify this stuff. You don't have to just be putting down these props, but these are the teleporter props. So that's what I'm using. Now this guy's facing the wrong direction. You want this to somehow signal 180. Now it's pointing in that direction. Let's put it right on top of the TP exit. Now I'm playing in the game, right? I can clearly see, hey, this is a teleporter. Hey, puts me out right where that thing is. Sweet. Sweet. But that's teleporters and jump pads. Now you can make the most complicated maze of a map. You can be jump padding everywhere. You can be teleporting right behind yourself. All kinds of amazing stuff. What do we got next? All right, we can do a lift pad. Lift pads are one of the most complicated thing. Honestly, you're making a map, just avoid lift pads at this point. Don't even try it. But we're gonna try it because you're here for the good stuff. I'm actually gonna open up a tutorial on this one. You guys think I'm all brilliant. I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for 3 days. I went to the Google and I searched Diabotical mapping, and I read a lot of stuff. And now I'm just spelling it out for you, okay? Which one you like the most? They're all pretty cool. Ooh, wow. We got this one. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. You gotta insert a trigger. So a lift pad, we're not setting a target for it, but we're setting a trigger for it. So search up trigger. You got 3 entities here, trigger, end, start. We're just going for a straight trigger. Now we got this. We want our trigger to, first of all, we want it to be the size of the platform. So think of it this way. If someone touches this corner of the platform, we want the platform to initiate. So we got to increase it to 50. We're perfect. That's it. Now it's covering the whole thing. Our trigger is set. So if anyone touches any area of this platform, the trigger will happen. And now we have to type what we want to happen when the trigger is hit. I did this one time and I thought to myself, this is complicated. This is the most complicated thing I've ever done. So the new trigger is called trigger. That makes it easy, right? So we need to know what the prop is called. The prop itself has a name. If I open up the console, I can see that I created it. It is prop underscore dynamic underscore props underscore industry. So that's important. You need to remember that because we need to set that to have a trigger. We're going to go set trigger. So now we're setting what the trigger does. Target is and then we got to type in whatever the platform was that we created. Dynamic props industry. So now that's the target. So now those two are connected. Now that they're connected, the trigger is connected to the platform. What's going to happen when we trigger the trigger? So we got to type set prop dynamic props industry action move. And now we got a lot of inputs here. We're going to move it. We're moving it in a bunch of different, we can move it left or right, move it up, down, we move it forward and back. So whatever I type here, it's got 3 settings here. So it's actually, I'm going to type 3 numbers in a row, and this is determining the X, the Y, and the Z. So the X, I actually don't want to move left, so I put 0. I want to move up, so let's put 300. I don't want it to move forward or back, so I'll put 0. So that's my X, Y, and Z. And then you also get 2 more inputs here. This is your wait time. So this is how long is it going to stand up. And then the next input would be how fast it's going to go. I'm just going to leave that blank right now. So it's going to give me the defaults. So right now it should, if I step on this, you can see it just highlighted it extra green. That's how I know I did it. And then if I step on this, it should go up. Look at that. We're flying. So that's 300 units. And now it comes back down. Now you get to adjust a few things here. If we go back into our console, let's go back to what we had. So we had 0, 300, 0. That's fine. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep that same height. The next 2 numbers that I didn't adjust yet are the wait time. So this is how many seconds it's going to stay at the top. So if I put it to 10, then once it gets up here, it should wait 10 seconds, which is such a long time, and then come back down. So if you want an exit in your map in a way that your opponent can't follow, you set a high wait time there because nobody's waiting 10 seconds for a lift to come back down. You crazy. So 10, we're going to put that back to 1. And now we got speed. We got to type 1. That's how many seconds. 0 is your X. 300 is my Y. 0 is my Z. 1 is my wait time. And this number should be my speed. So if I go 100, this is going to be fast. What? It didn't do it. 1000. It is. So 100 must just be the default. So now it's very fast. Whoa! That's what we want. We want more boost pads. Everybody out there making maps, every lift that you make, you give it 1000 speed. 1000 speed. Let's go 10,000. How fast are we going? I can't get on it. The trigger. What if I stand? Come on. Is it going to crush me? No. A man can dream. Do you think I can jump on it? No, it's too fast for me. See that? Now it's moving that direction. We got an angled lift pad going on. Woo-wee! We got jump pads. We're flying. Too far. We got teleporters. We're teleporting. Right on top of it. And we got angled lift pads. What more is there in this game? Am I right? Oh, we didn't even talk about materials. Let's talk about materials, eh? If you select a patch and then double click on a material, now you got that material as your floor. We can change the whole thing up. There's a ton of materials in this game. Some are better suited as walls, some are better suited as ground. This is important because when you do make a level and you start building out all the blocks, you're gonna get to the end of your level and you're gonna go, holy crap, is this level ever blocky? When you move around a blocky level, one of the worst things is hitting corners. You're always just hitting corners of blocks. You know what I mean? And it just stops all your momentum. Man, does that ever hurt. So you have to go, you actually have to bind a key for this one, but this is the kind of bind that you want happening. So you just want to go bind/bind. I use the button, the fancy dancy button number 1, key number 1, bind 1. Oops, I missed a key. Bind editor 1. So now if you just bind to 1, you're changing your regular game and you probably have that bound to something. But if you bind a key, you were only binding editor keys. So only when editor mode, the 1 button. And then we want the 1 button. What do we want to do? We want to set a block to 3. What is 3, you ask? If I set this block to 3, I highlight it and I press 1. 3 is an angle. So now we have an angle. That way angle. Just keep pressing 1 and it just keeps rotating it. Now I have an entirely angled corner. You're going to notice as you create this, this is, I don't know how I feel about this, guys. This is a little bit strange. Okay. Once you've angled the wall, I don't know what's going on here, but there seems to be some kind of other world in here. A cathedral. Cathedral? A cathedral of sorts. I don't know how I feel about this. It's freaking me out. When I move, it's like I'm looking through a window. But anyway, we don't actually want that. So we take the texture we want. So we want this ground texture. We can highlight it all and copy and paste. Boom, there it is. Let's make the wall grassy. Why not? Let's make this wall grassy. Why not? To highlight this one, super strange thing here. But if you highlight this side of it, nothing happens. Sorry, guys. You got to highlight the left side. And now you paste. There you go. Now that you've created your masterpiece, you want all your friends to see it. Do not exit the game, because you will lose it. You got to open up your console. You can type /save, and now you're giving your map a name. So we're going to call it super map. /save super map. Now my super map has been saved. And if you ever want to open up super map when you're out in the regular mode, you got to type /edit super map. And now it's going to load you back into the super map you've created. So hey, I hope you learned a little bit about mapping and the basics of creating a map through this video. There's still a lot more to be taught and a lot more to learn. I'm going to be coming out with part 2, and this we'll be talking about props and making a level look finished. There's still a lot to come. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit me with that subscribe button. That would help me out a lot. I'll be coming out with more content just like this. Have a great day. We'll see you later.